My name is David Swift. I'm the Global Ecommerce Manager for TradeMe. TradeMe isn't just a marketplace. It's the #1 place in the country to buy a house or buy a car or find a job. You can even find your partner on TradeMe. So Kiwis have grown up with this one account for complete use, and that's what's seen us grow over the last 10 years to be the dominant player in the market. New Zealand is unique in a way in that there are a lot of supply gaps. There is very limited domestic supply available, and this is what has seen TradeMe grow to have an international sellers program. In terms of top performing categories, home and living, clothing and fashion, sports, toys and games, tools and electronics, and there would be existing supply gaps right across there, which is why we've seen the international growth that we have over the last 3 years. The athleisure area, that's really popular in New Zealand. Mobile phones go particularly well as long as retailers can comply with electronic safety standards, looking particularly again at Apples and Samsungs. 4.8 million people in the country, 4.1 million account holders on TradeMe. So in terms of demographic split, we literally have a mirror of New Zealand's population. What it provides retailers is a one-stop shop access to New Zealand's entire market. We don't have fragmentation in New Zealand. You've got one platform which users will use for everything. We've got a number of UK brands who have successfully launched onto the platform. In fact, the UK is now our largest amount of international retailers. February this year, it recently overtook Australia. So a great example of that would be Sports Direct. Again, I mentioned earlier, athleisure, really popular in New Zealand. They were able to come in with a great pricing model that was much cheaper than was domestically available, gain brand traction, repeat business, and get those items shipped from the UK, arriving in New Zealand in under 10 days, has seen them able to establish themselves really quickly. One of the things that we do that gives international retailers an advantage straight off the back is we actually provide them with a fully digital storefront. And what consumers can do is, if they visit the store, they can save it as one of their favourites, and that will actually place the store on the TradeMe homepage, which is one of the most trafficked websites in New Zealand. So we are capable of providing highly targeted display campaigns right across the platform to actually drive traffic back to your TradeMe store, which is aimed at consumers. We know we've got an interest in your products. We also can do dedicated solace email campaigns for brands that are entering the market that we think would be of interest to a wider audience that perhaps maybe isn't aware of the brand or will be interested in the brand, just isn't aware that it's got a digital footprint in the country. We have a dedicated newsletter that goes out. You have to subscribe to receive the newsletter. I think current subscription level is 1.6 million. So again, it's really well received. We're very focused on getting your products to that key audience as soon as you enter the market, because that's going to be the fastest way we're going to provide users with what they want and a return on investment for those retailers coming cross-border. TradeMe will provide you with is a dedicated account manager. So your account manager acts as an advocate for your business within TradeMe. So if we're running up to a Christmas campaign, or maybe we're going to run a summer sports campaign and it's January, and so domestically you're not thinking of selling surf gear and shorts, they'll get hold of you, let you know what is currently on the table, and give you an invitation of whether you want to be invited to join. Goods are expected to arrive in country within about 10 working days, which is plenty of lead time from the United Kingdom. We always recommend that retailers entering cross-border into New Zealand offer free shipping, just mainly because that's not the norm in New Zealand. So if you're buying from a domestic retailer, there will be a delivery charge, and delivery is still quite slow. It can take up to 48 hours. So the perception that you are buying something from as far away as the UK, and then that retailer is going to provide the customer service to get it to you for nothing, is a really big sales driver. And obviously, again, in terms of favoriting those stores who are providing that service, it's a really good way to get that repeat customer. Our evidence would suggest that if you are selling a $40 top and you're charging $10 to ship it, you'd have more success selling a $50 top with free shipping. We have our own proprietary payment system, which is Pay Now, and we expect all international retailers who sign up to the platform to use that, because that allows users on the platform to basically pay throughout a variety of methods which they are used to throughout New Zealand. To make the platform as attractive as possible to international retailers, we've gone with a really simple model. It's virtually pay on success. So we charge a flat rate fee of 7.9% on any goods that are sold on the platform, and then on top of this, as I mentioned, we have our proprietary card payment system, Pay Now, for which we charge 1.95% on transactions. So a total commission rate of 9.85% on goods sold, no store setup fee, no high listing fees, no withdrawal fees. It's just you're only paying when you're actually selling on the platform. It's a relatively straightforward process from initial inquiry right through to actually getting your products live on site, and you are supported throughout that journey. It was the desire from our users to expand range and brands on site that actually saw us launch our international seller program. And World Bank recently announced that New Zealand is the easiest country in the world to do business, and we've tried to mirror that and make the process as simple as possible. So the first stage is an international sellers checklist, and it's a simple 2-page PDF. And what that allows us to do is just come back to retailers with recommendations from our trust and safety team about any legislation or any regulation that they might fall under selling into New Zealand. Once we've been through that and they've been approved to sell on the platform, they don't need to have a bank account set up, they don't need a registered business set up in New Zealand. We have a dedicated onboarding team that will walk them through the process, integrating, launching their products on site, and then helping with optimization. The next company or an organization who can crack an augmented reality solution, whereas potentially you've got embedded payment systems into social media, and where you could sort of see your goods, scan them with a device, maybe you're looking on Snapchat or whatever, and then it links you to your marketplace. If you think 40% of all e-commerce transactions are going to be taken on a marketplace by 2020, to whoever makes that bridge, and I think you've seen it done really successfully in Asia with WeChat, where they don't only control the transaction, but they control the meeting place, how you get there, and how you're actually going to meet your friend. I think that's the next leap that sort of Western